Have you heard about the Buddhist tradition of putting salt in your shoes? Do you know the exact purpose of this ancient practice rooted in Buddhist wisdom and Eastern medicine? Salt is known for its many uses beyond cooking. You've likely tried several thanks to kitchen advice from elders. It's a powerful ally, and according to recent research, it isn't the main cause of high blood pressure. Its benefits extend beyond this. Salt is valuable for household cleaning, helping to purify and sanitize. As a saline solution, it's effective for disinfecting wounds and skin abrasions and serves as an exfoliant, anti-dandruff treatment, bath additive, and more. Yet few realize that for Buddhists, placing salt in shoes holds deep spiritual and medical significance. As we'll explore in the Zen story coming up, stay tuned to discover 5 compelling reasons to try it yourself. Stick around until the end for a revelation that will leave you amazed. And before we continue, if you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications for updates on our latest content. In the heart of a valley, surrounded by the mystical aura of the Japanese mountains, stood an ancient Buddhist monastery, guardian of age-old wisdom and a place of refuge for those seeking inner peace. In this place, where time seemed to have stopped, lived the elderly and venerated monk Makoto, whose wisdom and profound understanding of the ways of Buddhism and Oriental medicine shone like the light of a candle in the night. One morning, as the golden rays of the sun filtered through the branches of the trees, Makoto gathered his disciples in the monastery cloister for one of the usual lessons. With a serene expression, he invited them to sit in a circle around him and began to speak in a warm and reassuring voice. Every step we take on the path of life is a sacred journey. The monk began, a path that leads us to knowledge of ourselves and the universe that surrounds us. Just as when facing a long and tiring journey, it is necessary to prepare adequately, so also in our earthly existence we must be ready to face the challenges that await us. The disciples listened, enraptured by their master's words. When Makoto mentioned the ancient custom of putting salt in shoes, their minds opened to the wonder of a tradition as ancient as it was mysterious. This practice, Makoto continued, has roots that go back to the remotest past when our ancestors walked through wild and impervious lands. In those distant times, salt was not just a condiment to enrich foods but a precious commodity, a symbol of purity and protection. The senior monk took a moment's pause, letting the words settle like delicate sand in the minds of his disciples, and then continued. I will now explain to you the 5 main reasons why the practice of putting salt in your shoes is so significant and important for our spiritual path and for our health in general. First, Makoto said, salt has the power to absorb moisture. Just as the Buddha absorbed the suffering of the world, when we put salt in our shoes, it helps us keep our steps light and agile. In Buddhist practice, humidity is often associated with the heaviness of worries and suffering that we carry with us along the path of life, just as the weight of water filling our shoes in the rain slows and weighs down our pace. So the worries and tensions of the mind can hinder our progress towards inner peace and enlightenment. Putting salt in your shoes symbolizes the desire to free yourself from this burden, to let go of worries, and to maintain a lightness of spirit, despite the challenges encountered along the way. Salt acts as an absorbent of these worries, allowing our steps to remain light and agile as we proceed in our search for inner peace and wisdom. To enhance the meaning of this aspect, Makoto told them the story of an old fisherman who, during a storm, had saved his boat from breaking thanks to a bag of salt that he had thrown on the deck to absorb the water. The second reason to put salt in your shoes, Makoto continued, is that salt has purifying properties. By assimilating impurities, salt purifies our path, freeing it from harmful influences and spiritual obstacles. Putting salt in our shoes, therefore, is a way to protect our mind and spirit from the deceptions and temptations of the outside world. To better explain this idea, the monk shared with his disciples the story of a traveler who, during his journey, had encountered a river infested with evil spirits. Thanks to the salt in his shoes, he was able to cross the river unscathed, protecting his mind and spirit from negative influences. The third reason, Makoto continued, is that salt helps us maintain balance. Just as the mountains that surround us are symbols of stability and strength, putting salt in our shoes also helps us to root ourselves in the earth and to remain steadfast in the face of the storms of life. The mountains surrounding the monastery represent the image of stability and strength, said the monk. Just as these towering rock formations remain steadfast even in the face of the most violent storms, so we too must learn to maintain our inner stability as we face life's challenges. Putting salt in your shoes symbolizes this balance. The salt, in fact, acts as an anchor for our steps, stabilizing them and preventing unwanted falls along our path. When we walk with salted shoes, we feel more solid and rooted to the ground, as if we have a deep connection with the earth itself. This balance not only affects the body but also the mind and spirit. Therefore, following this practice is an invitation to find the right balance between the different dimensions of our existence, between work and rest, between action and contemplation, between joy and sadness, between good and evil. When we manage to maintain this balance, we can face life's challenges with serenity and determination without being shaken by the ups and downs we encounter along the spiritual path. To make the concept clearer, Makoto told them the story of a young monk who, during meditation on the banks of a stormy mountain stream, had found perfect balance thanks to the salt he brought with him. As the disciples became more and more involved with the stories of their spiritual guide, Makoto continued with the fourth reason. Salt also has healing properties. In Oriental medicine, salt is considered a natural remedy to relieve pain and tension. Putting salt in your shoes can soothe not only the physical discomforts but also the mental ones that we encounter along our spiritual path. To demonstrate this idea, the monk shared with his disciples the story of a farmer who, suffering from an open wound on his foot, had found relief by immersing his foot in a saline solution. Continuing with the fifth reason, Makoto talked about how putting salt in your shoes was a gesture of gratitude. Salt is a precious gift from the earth, and using it mindfully reminds us to be grateful for all that life offers us, both the joys and the challenges, said the master. The disciples listened to Makoto's words with deep reverence, grasping the wisdom behind that seemingly simple gesture. But the monk wasn't finished yet. Looking his disciples straight in the eyes, he added, "My dears, there is a reason linked to this practice that I wanted to leave until last due to its importance. Putting salt in your shoes is a rite of passage that connects us to past generations and all the people who have walked this earth before us. Every grain of salt represents their stories, their challenges, and their victories. When we put salt in our shoes, we join an eternal bond of wisdom and resilience that crosses time and space, transmitting their spirit and strength in our footsteps." Faced with this revelation, the disciples were speechless, contemplating the depth of this apparently simple gesture. They understood that for Makoto, salt in shoes was not just an ancient practice or a symbol of protection and purification, but a connection to humanity itself and all the lives that have passed before them. Have you ever had the problem of sleeping in one position rather than another? Some people sleep on their stomachs, some on their right side, and some on their left side. Then there are those who love to do it curled up in a fetal position, and those who sleep on their backs. Again, there are those who love wearing pajamas and those who don't. There are those who love having blankets on and those who want to feel free. Well, if you are among those who have never asked themselves about the problem, thanks to the Zen story that follows, you will discover what happens if you sleep on your left side. Stay until the end, because what you will hear will leave you breathless and will make you seriously reconsider the way you are used to sleeping. In a quiet Buddhist monastery located among the mountains of Japan, immersed in the serenity of the gardens, the elderly and wise monk Shinzo decided to dedicate a special evening to sharing profound truths about the way we are used to sleeping. The moon, bright and round in the night sky, seemed to bless the atmosphere of contemplation that spread among the devoted disciples gathered in the main hall. Shinzo, sitting on a tatami, began to speak in a calm voice as if his words were a light breeze that caressed the minds of those who listened to him. Today, dear disciples, we will see why sleeping on your left side is the best thing you can do for your physical health and emotional well-being, the monk began. We will explore together the profound connections between the practice of left-sided sleep, the benefits for our body, and spiritual awakening. Finally, you will understand why Buddhist monks have been sleeping on their left side for centuries. While the disciples were increasingly fascinated and intrigued by the topic, Shinzo continued his speech. In the ancient Eastern tradition, the connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit was an essential part of the path to wisdom and balance. And sleeping on the left side has always been of great importance. This choice is not random, but reflects a profound understanding of the physiological and spiritual principles that guide the practice of Buddhist monks. First of all, Shinzo said, sleeping on your left side can improve digestion. In our tradition, we believe that the stomach and pancreas are positioned in such a way that when you sleep on your left side, digestion is facilitated. This is because gravity helps the transit of food and the digestive process. The monk shared with his disciples an ancient story about a Buddhist traveler who, during his wanderings, discovered that sleeping on his left side reduced abdominal discomfort and made him feel more energetic and healthy. Secondly, the monk continued, sleeping on your left side can improve heart function. sleeping in this position reduces the pressure on the heart and promotes better circulation. For US Buddhists, the heart is not only the center of physical well-being but also the seat of compassion and love. Therefore, taking care of the heart is essential for our spiritual path. To further illustrate this concept, Shinzo recounted the story of an old monk who, despite his advanced age, maintained a young and healthy heart thanks to the practice of sleeping on his left side. Thirdly, the master continued, sleeping on your left side helps lymphatic drainage. This position facilitates the removal of toxins from the body, allowing the lymphatic system to work more effectively, just as we seek to purify our mind through meditation and prayer. So too must we purify our body to achieve spiritual balance. The monk shared an anecdote about a young novice who, after discovering the benefits of sleeping on his left side, saw a significant improvement in his general health and ability to concentrate during meditation. Fourthly, Shinzo said, sleeping on your left side can reduce pressure on the spine. This position helps maintain a correct posture and prevents back and neck pain. A healthy body is a key to an alert mind and the ability to follow the path to enlightenment. To make this idea clearer, Shinzo told the story of an old warrior who, after years of fighting, found relief from his back pain thanks to the practice of sleeping on his left side, which allowed him to dedicate himself to meditation and prayer. Fifthly, Shinzo continued, sleeping on your left side can improve breathing. This position can help reduce episodes of snoring and sleep apnea, promoting more restful sleep and better oxygenation of the body. As we know, breathing is essential in meditation and the path to enlightenment. So sleeping in a way that optimizes our breathing is extremely important. To further elaborate, the monk told a story of a boy who, after starting to sleep on his left side, experienced a significant improvement in his sleep quality and ability to practice meditation with more focus and awareness. The disciples, now deeply involved in Shinzo's speech, listened with growing interest and curiosity. However, the monk wasn't finished yet. Finally, he said, "I will share with you a secret that not many know. Sleeping on the left side is an ancient practice that connects us with the cycles of nature and the cosmic order. Our body is designed to follow these natural rhythms. And sleeping in this position helps us harmonize with the universal energy that surrounds us. This connection with the cosmos can lead to greater awareness and spiritual awakening." Faced with this revelation, the disciples were speechless, contemplating the depth of these teachings and the profound meaning of sleeping on the left side. Shinzo concluded his lesson with a serene smile and a wise look. "Dear disciples," he said, "now you know why sleeping on your left side can be beneficial for your physical health and spiritual well-being. I encourage you to experience this practice with an open heart and a receptive mind. May you find inner peace and balance in every aspect of your life, including the way you sleep." Do you like to eat Chinese food? If yes, write a comment telling us which is your favorite Chinese dish. In ancient times, in a distant Buddhist monastery nestled among the green hills of China, a young and diligent monk named Liang was known for his boundless curiosity and desire to discover the hidden secrets of life. His master, the elderly monk Tao, was a man of profound wisdom and vast knowledge, always willing to share his teachings with those who demonstrated a sincere interest in learning. One day, during one of their daily walks through the serene monastery gardens, Liang approached his master with a burning question in his heart. "Master Tao," he said respectfully, "I have heard that Chinese cuisine holds ancient wisdom and a profound connection to our spiritual path. Can you reveal to me the secrets of Chinese food and how it can help us on our journey to enlightenment?" Master Tao smiled kindly at Liang, appreciating his genuine curiosity. "My dear Liang," he began, "Chinese food is not just a combination of flavors and ingredients, but a harmonious balance of elements that nourishes both the body and the spirit. Today, I will share with you the 7 secrets of Chinese food that will help you understand its true essence and its profound connection to our spiritual path." The first secret that Master Tao revealed to Liang was the concept of balance. In Chinese cuisine, he explained, the balance between the 5 fundamental flavors sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami is of utmost importance. Each dish must contain a harmonious balance of these flavors to achieve a state of equilibrium that reflects the balance we seek in our lives. Just as we strive to balance our thoughts, emotions, and actions, so too must we strive to balance the flavors in our food. To illustrate this concept, Master Tao shared the story of a famous chef who, after years of practice, had learned to create dishes that were perfectly balanced in flavor. This chef's food was not only delicious but also had a calming and centering effect on those who ate it. The second secret Master Tao revealed was the importance of seasonal ingredients in Chinese cuisine. He said, "We use ingredients that are in season, as they are at their peak in flavor and nutrition. This practice not only ensures that our food is fresh and healthy but also connects us to the natural rhythms of the earth. By aligning ourselves with the seasons, we can better harmonize with the world around us and find peace within." To make this idea clearer, Master Tao recounted the story of a farmer who, by planting and harvesting according to the seasons, had cultivated crops that were not only bountiful but also filled with the essence of nature itself. The third secret was the concept of the yin-yang balance. In Chinese cuisine, Master Tao explained, "We strive to achieve a balance between yin and yang energies in our dishes. Yin foods are cooling and moisturizing, while yang foods are warming and energizing. By combining these energies in our meals, we can create dishes that are balanced and harmonious, promoting health and well-being." Master Tao shared the story of a healer who, by understanding the yin-yang properties of foods, had been able to create diets that helped his patients achieve balance and recover from illness. The fourth secret was the use of medicinal ingredients. Many ingredients in Chinese cuisine, Master Tao said, have medicinal properties that can help heal and nourish the body. By incorporating these ingredients into our dishes, we can create food that is not only delicious but also beneficial to our health. To further illustrate this concept, Master Tao told the story of an elderly monk who, despite his age, remained strong and healthy thanks to his diet rich in medicinal foods. The fifth secret was the practice of mindful eating in Chinese culture. Master Tao explained, "We believe that how we eat is just as important as what we eat. By eating mindfully, savoring each bite, and appreciating the flavors and textures of our food, we can enhance our dining experience and connect more deeply with the nourishment that our food provides." Master Tao shared the story of a Zen master who taught his disciples the art of mindful eating, leading them to a deeper appreciation of their food and a greater sense of gratitude. The sixth secret was the importance of presentation in Chinese cuisine. Master Tao said, "The presentation of a dish is considered an art form. By carefully arranging our food in a visually pleasing way, we can create a sense of beauty and harmony that enhances our dining experience and uplifts our spirit." To illustrate this idea, Master Tao recounted the story of an artist who, through his skillful presentation of food, was able to bring joy and inspiration to those who enjoyed his meals. The seventh and final secret that Master Tao shared with Liang was the practice of cooking with love and intention. When we prepare food with love and intention, he explained, we infuse it with positive energy that can nourish both the body and the spirit. By cooking with a pure heart and a clear mind, we can create dishes that are not only delicious but also filled with the essence of our love and care. To emphasize this point, Master Tao shared the story of a grandmother who, through her love and dedication to cooking for her family, created meals that brought comfort, joy, and healing to those who ate them. As Liang listened to Master Tao's teachings, he felt a deep sense of gratitude and understanding. He realized that Chinese cuisine was not just about satisfying hunger but about nourishing the body, mind, and spirit. By incorporating these 7 secrets into his own practice, he could deepen his connection to the food he ate and enhance his journey toward enlightenment. With a heart full of appreciation and a mind filled with new knowledge, Liang thanked Master Tao for his wisdom and vowed to carry these teachings with him as he continued on his path. From that day forward, Liang approached each meal with a sense of mindfulness, balance, and gratitude, knowing that the simple act of eating could be a powerful tool for spiritual growth and well-being. And so, in the quiet halls of the monastery, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the wisdom of his master, Liang discovered the profound secrets of Chinese food and the deep connection between nourishment and the path to enlightenment. If you've read this far, I'm sure you've been fascinated by what you've read. Which of these secrets resonates with you the most? In a small village nestled among the verdant mountains of China, there lived a wise and elderly sage named Li. Known for his profound knowledge and gentle demeanor, Li was often sought by villagers seeking advice on various matters, from health to spiritual well-being. One day, a young villager named Mei approached Li with a burning question. "Wise Sage Mei began, I have heard that the Chinese have a special way of preparing and enjoying tea. Can you tell me the secrets of Chinese tea and how it can benefit our health and well-being?" Li smiled warmly at Mei, appreciating her curiosity. "My dear Mei," he said, "Chinese tea is not just a beverage but a tradition steeped in history and culture. The secrets of Chinese tea lie not only in its preparation but also in the way it is enjoyed. Today, I will share with you the 6 secrets of Chinese tea that will help you understand its true essence and its benefits for your health and well-being. The first secret Li revealed was the importance of using high-quality tea leaves in Chinese culture. He explained, the quality of the tea leaves is paramount. High-quality leaves not only provide a superior flavor but also contain more beneficial compounds, such as antioxidants, which can help protect our bodies from damage caused by free radicals. To illustrate this point, Li shared the story of a tea master who, after years of searching, discovered a rare and high-quality tea that had remarkable health benefits. This tea, known as Dragon Well, became famous for its ability to promote longevity and vitality. The second secret was the practice of proper tea preparation in Chinese tea culture. Li continued, the way we prepare our tea is just as important as the leaves we use. The water temperature, steeping time, and the vessel in which the tea is brewed all play a crucial role in extracting the best flavor and health benefits from the tea leaves. To make this idea clearer, Li recounted the story of a monk who, through careful preparation and attention to detail, was able to create tea that not only tasted exquisite but also had a calming and centering effect on those who drank it. The third secret was the practice of mindful tea drinking in China. Li said, we believe that the way we drink our tea is just as important as how we prepare it. By drinking tea mindfully, savoring each sip, and appreciating the flavors and aromas, we can enhance our tea drinking experience and connect more deeply with the nourishment that tea provides. To further illustrate this concept, Li told the story of a Zen master who taught his disciples the art of mindful tea drinking, leading them to a deeper appreciation of their tea and a greater sense of tranquility. The fourth secret was the health benefits of different types of tea in Chinese tea culture. Li explained, we recognize that different types of tea have different health benefits. Green tea, for example, is known for its antioxidant properties, while black tea is known for its ability to improve digestion and heart health. By choosing the right type of tea for our needs, we can enhance our health and well-being. Master Li shared the story of an elderly woman who, by drinking a variety of teas throughout her life, was able to maintain her health and vitality well into her old age. The fifth secret was the importance of the tea drinking environment in China. Li said, we believe that the environment in which we drink our tea can greatly impact our tea drinking experience. By creating a peaceful and harmonious environment, we can enhance our enjoyment of tea and create a sense of calm and relaxation. To illustrate this idea, Li recounted the story of a tea house that, through its serene setting and beautiful surroundings, became a place of refuge and relaxation for those who visited. The sixth and final secret that Li shared with Mei was the practice of sharing tea with others in Chinese culture. Li explained, tea is often shared with friends and family as a way of fostering connection and building relationships. By sharing tea with others, we can create moments of joy and togetherness, enhancing our social well-being. To emphasize this point, Li shared the story of a village that, through its tradition of communal tea drinking, was able to create a strong sense of community and support among its residents. As Mei listened to Li's teachings, she felt a deep sense of gratitude and understanding. She realized that Chinese tea was not just about quenching thirst, but about nourishing the body, mind, and spirit. By incorporating these 6 secrets into her own tea drinking practice, she could deepen her connection to the tea she drank and enhance her health and well-being. With a heart full of appreciation and a mind filled with new knowledge, Mei thanked Li for his wisdom and vowed to carry these teachings with her as she continued on her path. From that day forward, Mei approached each cup of tea with a sense of mindfulness, balance, and gratitude, knowing that the simple act of drinking tea could be a powerful tool for health and well-being. And so, in the quiet village nestled among the verdant mountains of China, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the wisdom of its elders, Mei discovered the profound secrets of Chinese tea and the deep connection between nourishment and well-being. Which of these secrets did you already know? Which ones are new to you? When I was a little girl, I remember that my grandmother used to tell me bedtime stories. Her voice was soothing, and the stories were always filled with wisdom and adventure. One story that I remember vividly was about a young prince who embarked on a journey to find the secret of happiness. The story began with a prince named Lai Wei who lived in a magnificent palace surrounded by luxury and wealth. Despite having everything he could possibly desire, Li Wei felt a void in his heart and a yearning for something more. He longed to discover the true meaning of happiness, so he decided to leave the comfort of his palace and embark on a journey to find it. Li Wei traveled far and wide, through bustling cities and serene villages, across towering mountains and vast deserts. Along the way, he met many people, each with their own stories and wisdom to share. One day, as he was passing through a peaceful village nestled in the hills, he encountered an elderly woman named Mei. Mei was known throughout the village for her wisdom and kind heart. Curious about her secret to happiness, Li Wei approached Mei and asked, "Wise woman, I have traveled far and wide in search of happiness, but I have yet to find it. Can you tell me the secret to true happiness?" Mei smiled warmly at the young prince and invited him to sit with her in the shade of an ancient tree. "My dear prince," she began, "the secret to happiness is not something that can be found in wealth or material possessions. It lies within our hearts and in the way we choose to live our lives." She continued, "Happiness is about finding balance and harmony in everything we do. It is about being mindful and present in each moment, appreciating the simple joys of life and cultivating gratitude for what we have. It is about nurturing our relationships, showing kindness and compassion to others, and finding meaning and purpose in our actions." Mei then told Li Wei a story about a young boy named Chen who lived in the village. Despite having very little in terms of material wealth, Chen was known for his joyful spirit and infectious laughter. He found happiness in the beauty of nature, the warmth of his family, and the satisfaction of helping others. Chen's happiness came from within, and it radiated out to those around him. Inspired by Mei's wisdom and the story of Chen, Li Wei realized that the happiness he sought was not something external but something that resided within his own heart. He thanked Mei for her guidance and decided to return to his palace with a renewed perspective. Back at the palace, Li Wei began to live his life with mindfulness and gratitude. He spent time with his family, cherished the beauty of his surroundings, and found joy in helping others. He discovered that true happiness came from living a life of balance, kindness, and purpose. As my grandmother finished the story, she looked at me with a gentle smile and said, "Remember, my dear, that happiness is not something you can find outside of yourself. It is something you create within your own heart. Always be mindful, grateful, and kind, and you will find true happiness." To this day, the story of Prince Li Wei and the wisdom of the wise woman Mei stay with me, reminding me that true happiness comes from within and is found in the simple, meaningful moments of life. If you have read this far, it means that you love to read. What is your favorite book? Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a young girl named Li Mei. Li Mei had always been captivated by stories, whether they were told by the village elders, read from ancient books, or shared by her friends. She had a particular fondness for a book titled The Journey to the West, which told the tale of a brave monk named Xuanzang and his adventurous companions who embarked on a quest to obtain sacred scriptures. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Li Mei discovered a dusty old book that she had never seen before. The book had a beautifully crafted cover adorned with intricate golden patterns and an intriguing title, The Secret of the Enchanted Forest. Her heart raced with excitement as she carefully opened the book and began to read. The story within the book told of an enchanted forest where magical creatures lived in harmony and hidden treasures awaited those who were pure of heart. Intrigued by the tale, Li Mei decided that she would embark on her own adventure to find this enchanted forest and uncover its secrets. With a small backpack filled with essentials and her trusty dog, by her side, Li Mei set off early. One morning, she journeyed through meadows and crossed babbling brooks, her excitement growing with each step. Along the way, she met a wise old owl who told her that the entrance to the enchanted forest could only be found by those who truly believed in magic. Li Mei continued her journey with a heart full of belief and wonder. As the sun began to set, she finally arrived at the edge of the forest. The trees were tall and ancient, their leaves shimmering with an otherworldly glow. She took a deep breath and stepped into the forest, feeling a sense of awe and anticipation. Inside the enchanted forest, Li Mei encountered many magical creatures: a mischievous fairy, a gentle unicorn, and a playful group of sprites. Each creature shared a piece of wisdom with her, teaching her about the importance of kindness, courage, and staying true to oneself. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Li Mei discovered a hidden glade where a beautiful crystal fountain stood. The fountain sparkled in the moonlight, and Li Mei felt an overwhelming sense of peace and joy. She realized that the true treasure of the enchanted forest was not material wealth but the lessons she had learned and the friendships she had made along the way. With a heart full of gratitude, Li Mei made her way back to her village, eager to share her adventure with her friends and family. She knew that the enchanted forest would always be a part of her, a reminder that magic exists for those who believe and that the greatest treasures are found within. As Li Mei shared her story, the villagers listened with wide-eyed wonder, and they, too, began to believe in the magic of the world around them. From that day on, Li Mei was known as the girl who found the enchanted forest, and her story inspired others to embark on their own journeys of discovery and wonder. And so, in the little village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, the magic of the enchanted forest lived on, reminding everyone that the greatest adventures are those that lead to the discovery of the heart. Thank you for sharing this adventure with me. Do you have a favorite place that you find magical? Growth during these hours may mean that the subconscious is more active, bringing hidden emotions, thoughts, and desires to the surface. He advised that this can be a time to deeply explore your psyche and identify what changes or transformations are necessary to live a more authentic and meaningful life. However, some nocturnal awakenings can be caused by physical disorders such as acid reflux, insomnia, or sleep apnea. Cairo cautioned that liver problems can also interrupt sleep and cause frequent awakenings during these hours. Eastern medicine suggests various remedies for these conditions. However, if you think you may have such problems, consult a doctor to identify and treat the underlying cause of these physical ailments. Eradicating these problems at the root allows you to improve the quality of sleep and promote emotional and general well-being. As the disciples continued to listen with great attention, Cairo introduced another important aspect. The period from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. is considered a time when the unconscious can communicate important messages through dreams and awakenings. He explained that this theory is suggested by both ancient Zen wisdom and the analytical psychology of Carl Gustav Jung. He suggested these messages can be symbolic or intuitive and can provide valuable insights into our inner lives, relationships, or challenges we are facing. Keeping a dream diary or practicing meditation before sleep can help capture and interpret these unconscious messages. If you write them down immediately the next day, you will have the opportunity to remember them and use them in your growth process. Another reason why some of us wake up at these times, according to Eastern tradition, is linked to the natural rhythms of the universe. Cairo continued that the early hours of the morning are considered a time when vital energy is concentrated and flows more freely. Waking during this time may indicate an alignment with these natural cycles or a need to adapt to them to promote health and well-being. Practices such as yoga, tai chi, or meditation can help harmonize the body, mind, and spirit with the rhythms of nature. So, my dears, Cairo addressed his disciples, consider practicing them. A disciple asked, Master Cairo, should we ultimately be worried if we often wake up at these times, my dears? Said the monk, I would look at these awakenings as a precious opportunity to explore the depths of our mind, our spirit, and even our body. If an awakening suggests a physical problem to us, we will know we need to take care of it. If it suggests a spiritual meaning to us, we will know we have to work on it. Remember, through Eastern wisdom and heartfelt compassion, to learn to welcome these moments as precious gifts along the journey of life. Every nocturnal awakening is an invitation to greater awareness and understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, instead of resisting or ignoring these awakenings, we can welcome them with kindness and openness, allowing them to illuminate our path to spiritual fulfillment. The best thing you can do is create a space of quiet and reflection before going to bed, allowing your mind and body to completely relax. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or reading inspirational texts can prepare you for a more restful, deep sleep. And when you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., take this phenomenon as an opportunity to explore your inner self and connect with your deepest essence. Have you ever wanted to help someone even though they didn't explicitly ask you to? And how did it go? Do you sometimes wonder if your good intentions could, in fact, have caused a negative ripple effect that you weren't aware of? In the Zen story you are about to hear, we will see that not helping others unless they ask is best for them and for yourself. So stay until the end, because what you discover thanks to Buddhist wisdom could change the way you see the world of human relationships. In essence, you will see how helping those who do not want to be helped can have negative repercussions on your life and theirs, and you will discover how your karma will be affected. In a quiet Buddhist monastery surrounded by lush gardens and ancient trees, the old and sagacious monk Noro gathered his disciples to talk about a topic very close to everyone's hearts. His curiosity was palpable, and his eyes were fixed on Noro. They all wanted to understand more about the reasons why, when they had helped someone, things had not gone as they would have liked. Life is like a great river, Noro began in a calm voice, and each of us is a small boat navigating this tumultuous course. Often we tend to jump into that current, trying to steer other people's boats without waiting to be asked. To make the metaphor he had just used understandable, Noro shared a story passed down through the centuries. He spoke of a young monk eager to help a companion in difficulty without being asked. He felt that his act of kindness had not produced the relief he had hoped for, but had instead generated a sense of shame and changed the dynamic of the friendship itself. In short, unsolicited help had created discord and confusion, demonstrating how even good deeds can have unexpected consequences. What we often don't understand, Noro explained, is that each individual is at the mercy of their own karma. Every action we take, good or bad, comes back to us like an echo. When we help without being asked to do so, we upset the delicate balance of another person's karma and paradoxically harm our own as well. The old monk told other stories, such as that of a young man who, eager to solve the problems of a dear friend without her having asked him, found himself involved in a series of endless difficulties and misadventures. If you enter a labyrinth that is not yours but someone else's without being asked, Noro continued, you could set off a chain reaction of events, creating an intricate web of karmic connections. Your gesture of friendship, no matter how sincere it may seem, could end up doing more harm to the friend in question and to yourself. Imagine wanting to cure someone without asking them if they are willing to give up the things that made them sick. Noro said, "Suffering is often caused by past actions, and our intervention could alter the natural course of learning that the individual should ultimately experience." Noro then went on to talk about Buddhist teachings, highlighting how even he himself had resisted the temptation to intervene without request. Buddha, the monk explained, had understood the sacredness of the individual learning process and how the karma of each being must be respected. Suffering is a very severe but precious teacher, Noro continued, using other everyday examples to better illustrate the concept. He spoke of the many moments when seeing a friend or family member in difficulty, empathy pushed him to offer help, and how, instead, Buddha taught the wisdom of waiting for the person themselves to ask for help. Suffering is almost always the result of past actions, and karma is the supreme law that governs the universe. Noro said, "When we intervene unsolicited, we enter a cyclic vortex that can drag us into other people's problems with unpredictable consequences for both of us. Remember, suffering is like a teacher who guides us along the path of spiritual growth," said Noro. To interfere with this process is to deprive others of the wisdom that only suffering itself can teach. Noro told other stories about daily life at the monastery, showing how the monks apply these teachings in daily practice. "Dozens of monks I have trained," he added, "became wiser and more self-confident men precisely because I avoided intervening directly in their problems. By resisting the temptation to intervene to solve certain problems, I allowed them to face their own challenges and learn the lessons that karma had in store for them." Every action we take is like throwing a stone into a pond, Noro said, using a metaphor to clarify the concept. The ripples spread and return to us. When we help without asking, we not only influence the karma of others but create ripples that can impact our own lives. In conclusion, Noro continued, "What do we understand from this story and how can it help us? The moral we can draw from this story is a reminder of the wisdom of discerning when to reach out and when to wait. Karma, like an unbroken river, carries our actions with it. And the way we offer our help can alter the very structure of destiny. Before reaching out to help someone, we must reflect on what they really need," Noro admonished. Not everyone seeks advice, sometimes they just need a listening ear and an understanding heart. Therefore, let us always remember to respect the sacredness of the individual path of each human being. Help should never be an impulsive act, but rather a conscious gesture respectful of free will and the path of personal and spiritual growth of others and ourselves. Life is an intricate web of lessons and opportunities for growth. When we offer our help without being called, we can deprive others of the precious opportunity to learn about themselves. Wisdom lies in recognizing that sometimes the best lesson is to learn through one's own effort and experience. Therefore, let our help be a beacon of light offered when requested, with awareness and respect, rather than a chain of unexpected events. Did you know that there are at least 9 strange events that happen to you while you sleep? How many times has it happened to you during the night to suddenly wake up in the grip of very strange sensations? During the night, our body abandons itself to rest, and the mind ventures on a journey without borders among the folds of dreams and visions. But are dreams just the figment of our imagination, or do they lead us to deeper truths? And what secrets do the night hours hide when the soul seems to wander between invisible worlds? In the Zen story you're about to hear, we will explore the strangest spiritual events that open up to us while we sleep. So stay until the end so you don't miss a single one. Only in this way will you understand if you too have experienced certain events. In the remote mountains of Japan, among silent forests and winding paths, stood an ancient Buddhist temple. where the wise monk Shinzo spent his days teaching his followers the path to enlightenment. One evening, as the sun was preparing to set behind the mountain peaks, the disciples gathered around the fire in the temple courtyard, eager to listen to the master's words. One of them, with eyes shining with curiosity, dared to break the silence. "Master Shinzo," he said respectfully, "what are the strange things that happen when we sleep?" The old monk smiled wisely, searching the eyes of his followers with deep understanding. "The strange things that happen during sleep?" he replied in a calm voice, "are profound truths that are revealed only to those who know how to listen to them with their hearts open. In the mysterious kingdom of the night, when the sky is painted with stars and the moon rises silently like a guardian of sleep, the world takes on an aura of enchantment and mystery. It is precisely during these dark hours that our body abandons itself to rest, and the mind ventures on a journey without borders. Sleep thus becomes a portal to unknown dimensions, an opportunity to explore the depths of the soul and discover hidden truths." With an eloquent gesture of his hand, Shinzo invited his disciples to come closer to him and began to tell a story that would lead them through the mysteries of sleep and spirituality. One night in a remote village in the mountains, Shinzo began, a young monk named Kaido had an extraordinary dream. The firelight danced across his wrinkled face as the disciples listened curiously. In this dream, Shinzo continued, Kaido walked along a moonlit path surrounded by an atmosphere of serenity and mystery. It was not just any dream, but a prophetic dream, the monk explained, a sign of the mind's power to penetrate beyond the veil of time. Next, Kaido found himself crossing invisible boundaries and traveling through unknown worlds, soaring beyond his physical body. It was a real astral journey, an exploration of the vastness of the universe and our connection with it, said the monk, looking into the eyes of his disciples. During his journey, Shinzo recounted, Kaido encountered spirits of ancient masters who offered him wisdom and guided him on his path. Communications with spirits, Shinzo stated, are a reflection of our inner search and connection with the divine. In another dream, Shinzo continued, Kaido experienced profound spiritual healing as his spirit was regenerated in his sleep. Spiritual healing, he said, is a process of purification of the soul that brings us to true self-awareness. During his dream journey, Shinzo continued, Kaido felt himself lifted from his body and floated above it, free from earthly bonds. Out-of-body experiences, he explained, remind us that we are more than what we see, that our essence extends beyond the confines of our skin. In his dream, the monk narrated, Kaido came into contact with his higher self, realizing his connection to the universe. Contact with the higher self, said Shinzo, is an experience of unity and enlightenment that shows us the ultimate truth of our existence. Kaido's dreams were full of symbols and hidden meanings, Shinzo continued, which guided him on his spiritual path. Dream work, he explained, is an opportunity to explore the unconscious and integrate hidden parts of our psyche. And finally, just before he awoke, Kaido had a sudden epiphany, Shinzo concluded, a vision of the ultimate truth that illuminated his soul, making him understand many things about himself. But what is hidden behind what I told you? Asked Master Shinzo rhetorically. Now we will see exactly what path Kaido took during his dreams, he added. First of all, I told you about his prophetic dreams. Shinzo began with a compassionate smile. They are like luminous paths that lead us to the future. Remember when a village elder dreamed of an impending storm and warned us in time? Dreams give us a vision of the time to come, offering us precious insight to navigate the waters of life. Before finishing Shinzo's story, he continued, we ask you to leave a comment with your experiences, and if you are appreciating the video, like and share it so we can continue to produce new content like this every day. Another experience lived by Kaido, which I spoke to you about, is that of astral travel, continued the monk. These are like journeys of the soul through the vast universe of the spirit. Imagine soaring above the snow-capped mountains and dancing among the stars, exploring worlds of light and beauty beyond the veil of matter. In these moments, our spirit frees itself from the chains of the body and savors the freedom of the infinity that surrounds us. Another event Kaido experienced in his dreams was that he communicated with the spirits of the old and wise masters, Shinzo said calmly. These communications, he continued, are like sweet melodies that resonate in the silence of the night. Every time we dream of meeting a deceased loved one or receiving a message from the angels, it is as if the sky itself bends towards us, offering us comfort and wisdom for our earthly journey. Spiritual healing. The monk continued with deep compassion, is like a loving embrace of the universe that envelops our wounded spirit. It is another event that happens during the hours of sleep. When we fall asleep, our body regenerates and the soul finds inner peace in the arms of the divine. Every night, In essence, we are surrounded by unconditional love that heals our deepest wounds. Continuing the lesson, Shinzo spoke about out-of-body experiences, explaining that they are like flights of the soul into unknown and wonderful worlds. During sleep, we can leave our physical bodies and venture into spiritual places, meeting beings of light and receiving teachings directly from angels. It is an experience that reminds us of our true spiritual nature and our connection to the divine. An experience through which we can mend the wounds we carry in our hearts and souls, said the monk in a serene voice. Contacts with the higher self are like sweet caresses of the soul that guide us towards our spiritual mission, Shinzo continued. During sleep, we get closer to our higher self and receive clear intuitions and visions that illuminate our path. It is as if our spirit were reunited with the divine source from which everything originates. Dream work? Shinzo continued with profound wisdom, is another of the events I told you about in the story about Kaido. It is like a silent dialogue between us and our unconscious, which reveals the secrets of the soul to us. In fact, through the symbols and images that dreams bring with them, we can discover hidden truths and face our fears and challenges with courage and awareness. Light meditation, said the monk, is another experience Kaido has had. It is like a silent prayer that brings us closer to the divine and allows us to achieve enlightenment. Before falling asleep, let's immerse ourselves in a state of meditation that prepares us for a deep and meaningful sleep. It is a way to open our hearts and minds to the divine presence that envelops us in an embrace of love. Do you remember what happened to Kaido at the end of his dream? Asked the monk. He had an epiphany, concluded Shinzo with a radiant smile. Illuminations are like flashes of wisdom that pierce the veil of ignorance during sleep. In fact, we can experience moments of spiritual awakening in which we perceive the ultimate truth of existence and the beauty of the universe. It is a transformative experience that brings us into the light of divine awareness, the ultimate goal of a night of deep and restorative sleep. If you found our video helpful, please subscribe to our channel, Buddha Powers, and like the video. See you in the next one.